simple another one. I think this one is quite special, really quite special, because India is a special place.
अरे ये क्या हुआ, लाइट चली गई है।
From the heart. You are special, okay? Really special.
I couldn't have asked for better lighting. It all went off and the video looked even better. So how many students from the event fraternity here? Okay, great. Wonderful. So what all did you notice? Can I have a mic in the audience? I'd love to chat with you kids. No problem, no problem. You take time. Okay.
वो हिंदी बोलेंगे क्या?
It was a really diverse event. You can literally see people from different country, different faces, different culture. And we represented it really good. The dances and decor.
Fantastic. So what all technology did you notice? Did you notice any technology? Did you find there was something that was wow about it? Apart from, of course, it looks like a fantastic event. Like there is decor, there is.
I like the representation of that palace and screen. There was a screen on the palace.
That is projection mapping.
Projections.
So there's projection mapping, there was holographic, there was 270 degrees of screen, there was an enchanted forest, there was Jagar Fort, there was Rambagh Palace, there was a holy experience. So all senses touched, right? So you feel all senses, you feel all emotions. Every day was a culturally enhancing experience, and this was the Bharat story, right? This is what we are. Our diversity is so immense that there's so much we can do in storytelling. It becomes so much more powerful like every day we can create a new story, and this is what it was. This event, by the way, they've been doing for Circle of Excellence. It's called HSBC Circle of Excellence. It is one of the largest events across the globe, We won this pitch out of 5 international agencies. So it's not like because it's being done in India, only an Indian agency will be chosen. That's not true. There was a UK agency, US agency. We won this out of 5 international agencies because of our power of storytelling. And what happened here is post the event, after 12 years of execution of Circle of Excellence, they've done it in various countries. This one got 99%. They rate the event, and this one got 99%. So what I'm trying to say is that India, is a tapestry of doing such beautiful work, and we're proud that you guys are here. You're getting such exposure to do it in the land of diverse culture. I think that is what you guys must be super proud of, and that's the Bharat story.
Yes, ma'am, we are truly proud to be here. That we do, and I miss being there. So, I would like to know that what inspired you to start your journey in event industries, and how did Maximus Mice came into existence?
I think everything and every sort of business is driven by passion. I think in my case it was passion of storytelling. I like to keep saying that it was so strong. I mean, my parents came from a business background. That also helped tons because, and my dad passed away when I was young as 13. So, again, we were the gladiators, that feeling that, we have to fight the world. I mean, we had 3 daughters, and I was the youngest of them all. Both my sisters actually moved to Singapore, and then I was like, what am I going to do? I don't want to move to Singapore, too mundane, too clean, too everything for me. I actually stayed back in Mumbai because I felt it was so rich, and everything that, rich with culture, rich with so much you could do more in our country. I stayed back, and then, of course, it helps because it's in your genes. I'm Gujarati, so the Gujarati genes helped in terms of doing business. But the whole idea was, there was such a gap in storytelling, I felt. And let me tell you, when I mean storytelling, it's not by words. It's by spaces, by experience, by memories, right? So that is what I wanted to bring to corporates, to clients, to anybody who wanted to do events. And that's where I did not even stick to just doing corporate work, right? So we started essentially as a MICE agency. We ended up doing weddings, we ended up doing exhibitions, IPs, Pickathon was created, only because we wanted to tell our story. That's where Maximus was born. And of course we have the fighting spirit. So also I want to tell you that there are dime a dozen event companies, right? There are many, many. How do you stand apart? And that's when we realized that, by just doing commissioned events, and when I say commissioned, is that you have a client coming to you, asking you to do an event. It's not event management. If you want to make a mark and you want to create a legacy, you got to create your own. And when you create your own, I mean IPs, right? So you create your own story. What is the story that you want to tell the world? And that is what is an event. That is what, and no more do I want to call it an event. I want to call it an experience. I want to call it a memory. I want to call it a moment. I want to call it so many other things. That it's not only about events. It's about, just leaving that mark behind and people remembering you for that. And that is where the story of Pickathon was born.
Very inspiring story, ma'am. So, moving towards the next question, I would like to ask that, as someone deeply rooted in the media industries, how do you see India's regional narratives shaping global media conversations today?
I think I've already said this, that our culture is so diverse, right? It is so rich. I mean, the biggest example today is the Kumbh Mela. Every Ivy League is now researching it. Harvard is doing a study on it. Nat Geo is doing a documentary on it. On something that was a small regional gathering, a spiritual gathering, today has become a world phenomenon. I think that is important to know that this is truly global. And why do we go global? Because we have such diversity. And India is that tapestry, right, of diversity. So this is where, what about Lapata Ladies? Come on, you've taken the rural story, become the Oscar entry of the year, and and such a beautiful story weaved together for the world to see, right? I think this is what we are heading towards. So, I mean, we've got live examples now. We don't need to preach anymore. We've got examples that, you know, something that is beautifully told and beautifully stitched together can become global, and we are anyways now super global. You know?
Yes, so I would like to hand over this session to Sushma Madam.
We're going to do it together. I kept telling Mariam, I think we need a big round of applause to Mariam more than anybody else, our future leader of leadership. This usually is the hot seat. So we were very excited with the facts. As told Mariam, she's not my co-moderator. She's the main moderator, I'm the co-moderator. Are you guys okay with that? Yes, everyone? So coming back to you, Reema, talking about these global stories, and we're talking about storytelling. What we saw in the video specifically is that all 5 senses were engaged, all 5 senses. Where do you see us taking this? And I think, according to me, India has got such a wide cultural tapestry that we can use these 5 senses to really make an impact. Have you seen a big shift where, you know, earlier I remember MICE used to take a lot of people out. Are you seeing a big shift of people coming into the country? If not, what can we do as an industry to ensure that the sensory palette of Indian cultural stories can really go out there and touch every corner of the world?
You know, Sushma, I think over the years, we've always had people coming to India. But because now we are a global story, right? And thanks to Modi, who is the biggest event manager of the country today, has made us even more global. But what I'm trying to say here is that we have also upgraded, right? We are creating more and more experiences within our country. So yes, we've seen a huge influx. I mean, we have become one of the top markets today for most corporates, right? So why wouldn't they come to India and experience? And then comes our culture. So we've become top market. We've got super culture. We've got experiences that no other country can offer. South India mein jao, to different experience. North jao, or different. I mean, even our 4 corners, our every corner is different, literally. So there is so much to explore that nobody can explore India in just 2, 3, 4 visits. It requires more than that. So this is where you've seen a huge influx of people. The art of storytelling has improvised so much. Today, event industry is boomed post-COVID. I think our industry is probably the highest performing industry post-COVID. Entertainment has taken another level. Just imagine Coldplay and an artist like Coldplay doing his biggest ever concert in India. This is huge. I mean, he could have done it. US has the facilities, UK has the facilities, they all have the facilities. We have people, we have energy, we have vibe, we have passionate people, and that's what we have, right? And that's why Coldplay came here and did his largest concert in the world. That's what we are attracting today. We are in true nature global, and our experiences are touching every sense for sure. I mean, we've got so much to offer that there is no way that a sense will be left out. And today, every agency is upping the game, right? So they're all out there to create a difference, to create something that is unique. And that is what is important.
So when you talk about creating something unique, I'm very interested in knowing, and I'm sure other students here as well would like to know, how do you create something like that, Reema? Like, you know, when we saw, we really saw there was a sensory stimulation, the food, there was a thematic representation, there was this larger-than-life depiction on large screens, there was mapping done on the fort, coupled with very engaging entertainment, which is again storytelling. Can you share with us, what would be the 2 or 3 steps that you would need to take to visualize something like this?
I think first and foremost, the most important part of any project is to understand your brief, and secondly is to understand your client. What does the client want? The plenary here, let me tell you, and it is something that I take a lot of pride in saying, that they wanted a plenary that was out of the world. They said, we don't want to do the mundane conference where people come and talk and impart lectures and stuff like that. They don't want that. We created a theatrical, and literally a theatrical of 3 hours, whereby we, because India is a nation of storytelling once again, we chose to, bring about the Mahabharata. We had Chanakya as our main character. We took characters from history who taught us lessons of doing business today. And we stitched all of that together with the culture that we have. Plus, we didn't even only focus on our history, we even make rockets today. Our story there is amazing. So that all put together, how should HSBC do business today attached to our history? This is how we curated the plenary, and it had dance, drama, it had coffee with kind of thing, that kind of atmosphere as well. So it had all the entertainment value, and people, let me tell you, were crying in the audience. I think we've shown that as well, where they were actually weeping in the audience because they couldn't believe India was so rich. So the idea is that you understand your client, you understand your audience before you plan. When you plan, this step is the most important, planning. You plan correctly. You will then, of course, as per the client, even your client usually will say, I don't have the budget, I don't have, in this case we had a free hand. So, but they will. So you have to adapt to the budget as well. But in that budget, remember to create something that is extraordinary. Because, and it can be done. Let me tell you, jugaad is the word. So, you should be able to do it. Because if you are going to just stick to the normal and say, acha, inka budget itna hi hai, main itna hi karunga ye budget mein, then that doesn't work. So I'm actually talking practically because half of them will say budget nahi hai. But when someone wants something that is out of the world, let me tell you, this particular plenary could have been much more expensive, right? But we chose artists, we chose talented artists, probably not very famous, to, actually give you that experience. And it turned out to be wonderful, let me tell you. So you have to explore, you have to figure out, because everything is possible. So in planning, Shushma, to me, is the most important. Then you start at understanding the client's brief. And then how do you visualize? That is, of course, creativity comes from, again, the deep passion of storytelling. It just cannot come to everybody. Someone is amazing at production, someone is amazing at storytelling, someone is amazing creatively, it could be anything, but creatively what you conceptualize, how, and experience. I think experience teaches you creativity, what you see. So go explore. Explore the world, and remember, if you're going to be stuck to your classroom, you will never do events. You will have to go out there, experience events, learn them, and spend time learning them. Don't think today I've seen something for 1 year and that's it. The world is so vast to teach you a new lesson every day. So you must go explore and have that kida of exploring. I think that is most important. That will then help you visualize. It will say, oh my God. If you don't know that there is something called projection mapping, there is something called holographic, there is something called something else, right? But if you don't know that, how will you even put it down in your experiences? Or how will you tell the client that this is what you can do? But when you explore, when you enrich your experience, is when you will be able to visualize bigger, better, nicer.
Very well said. I think the key part of this, Reema, is the fact that you can't sit in your room, in your classroom, and visualize. It's very important. The more experiences you get outside, go to the theaters, go for movies, go watch more movies. I don't know what. Watch plays. Go for. You guys have got this beautiful. I'm waiting to take Reema to the Tribal Museum today. I told her I have to go because it's beautiful. So I think the more you go and explore, the more you get, then you can do a permutation, combination, or there is some inspiration. I'm going to hand over to Mariam. Mariam, the next few questions, and I'll close with the last question that I have.
Thank you, ma'am. So, with India becoming a hub for large-scale experiential events, what role do you think that women-centric initiatives like Pinkathon play in redefining media narratives?
I think Pinkathon's a game changer. India wasn't running, Indian women weren't running. And we saw that gap. And of course my partner Milind Soman at that point of time, and he was a runner and I'm a runner. So both of us realized that India wasn't running. Okay, so the girls, every Sunday they thought it was important to make breakfast for their husbands and not run and go and do fitness or whatever else. They were so, it is a quality, right? Indian women prioritize everything else before themselves. And that is what we wanted to change, that narrative. I'm going to use a few words here, and sometimes they're taboo in schools, but unfortunately we didn't even use the word bra. Right? So there was a taboo around bra, breasts, all of that, and this was essentially coming from that there are so many stereotypes that you needed to break. So, and that's where Pinkathon changed the narrative. We got the women out on a Sunday morning, which they dedicated to their family, saying, "Ye to mera family day hai, nahi ye aapka din hai. Okay, this is your break. You come out there, celebrate yourself." So over time, Pinkathon became a celebration. It was no more an event, it was no more an experience, it was just celebrating women. And now, the way it has effect, it's no more a niche event. It's not a niche event. It's actually a mainstream event. So that's what you need to do. With such influence, I can't tell you. They can change narratives. And that is what Pinkathon has become. So this is where we needed this event to move. 10 years into Pinkathon, now the 11th year. It's just changing lives, it's changed lives, people have moved on. It became the stepping stone of fitness. And a fit woman in the house will make a fit family. And that was the narrative. Har ghar mein Pinkathon. That is what it was.
So, talking about that idea, great idea.
Goosebumps while I'm talking.
And great motivation to the women empowerment. So, the next question
I
is...
think we'll start empowering now. So, men empowerment. It's not about gender. It is really not about gender. It is about changing the narrative. I think that's what.
So, what are some strategies that you have used to connect brands with audiences in Tier 3 and Tier 2 cities, and how does this reflect part effect?
Tier 2, Tier 3, I don't know. We'll tell you how we did Tier 2, Tier 3 as well, because Pinkathon went to many Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. But authenticity is the name of the game. So you're authentic, it reflects in your events, right? So that is most important. Go vernacular, go local. We used local influencers. All our ambassadors, so today there are more than 1,000 ambassadors across the country who work for Pinkathon for the love of Pinkathon. We went local, we worked with local ambassadors who made our events happen. How did we reach 100,000 women running year on year? It was not easy, right? To get new 100,000 women running year on year. So this is how we did it. We went local, we used what, it was Ahmedabad ma Pinkathon aave chhe. So we used those kind of taglines which resonated with people. We went local, we used local influencers, we curated experiences, so everywhere. So we had let me tell you, because off my head I can remember, we had a Jalebi Fafda run in Gujarat. Yes. Jalebi Fafda run. So that's what, so our promotional events became Jalebi Fafda. We also had more, because this is what the local audience will resonate with, and that's how they will start their fitness journey. We had an obstacle run with mother-daughter. So those were runs also that happened, but there was a Jalebi Fafda run. There was in Chennai something else, in somewhere something else, right? Bengal there was something else. So so we had to match the local flavor to attract everybody to start their fitness journeys. And that's how we got, and this is authenticity. This is getting to the grassroots level, ensuring that we are with them. We are no more, we are now co-creating with audiences, and that is what is important. You're not creating an event for them, you're co-creating for them. And that is what you need to know, that this is not your event and you are Pinkathon and you are going, you need them more than they need you sometimes. So that's where you need to start co-creating. You need to be a part of them also. So that's what Pinkathon did.
Yes, ma'am. I would like Sushma ma'am to ask a question.
So
couple of things, two very important things before we let you go, okay? And I'm going to share this experience with you, all of you here. I love this thing that you've led into it about co-creating. So Reema is not only my very dear industry colleague, she's one of my dearest friends as well. That's why kind of almost, I didn't need to blackmail her, just needed to nudge her, please finally come to JLU, which is my literally home away from home for me. I participated with my husband and my child in one of the events that Reema and her team at Maximus organized. It was called Cycling
Saksha. It was for the government, and we did a cycling event in Mumbai. 5,500 cyclists on the roads of Mumbai, which the infrastructure still doesn't allow it, let me tell you. But it was a mega, it was the largest cyclothon that India has seen.
And 5,500 of us. And when she said co-created, I completely hit home. That's I'm taking a segue into this. You won't believe it. It has been how many years? 5 years now? 6 years? 5 years. I've been after her, please do one more event. Because nothing like that has happened again.
Cycling event, yeah.
Cycling event. And you know why I was saying that? Because I really felt that I was being a part, as a participant, we felt that we were being a part of setting a new narrative on the streets of Mumbai. The way each and every one of us felt, right from the time of entry to the logistics, imagine 5,500 people registering for an event. Imagine 5,500 people cycling up that little bit of a bridge. The logistics that it takes to pull off an event like this is immense. Moreover, at every corner, there was somebody enabling you, helping you, support. And at the end of the event, you actually get email which has your photographs of you and your family that had captured it. So, I mean, she's not saying, these are just not words. I just wanted to say, as a participant in your event, and I really think if not for anybody else, you need to do that cyclothon for me. Yeah, in memory of Sushma Gaikwad. Yeah? Whenever, not when I die, God willing now. It's very important when she was saying, co-create it with your participants, keep them in the seat while you are planning the event. What is their experience? So now coming to the next, last and most important question. Reema, we've been around, you've been here for 16, almost 20 years. I've been around here for 33 years. What do you think, right now you're saying, is the era of storytelling? And now putting you in a spot. Where do you think we are heading as an industry? The fact that we are the Bharat effect. India is at the epicenter in every single aspect of media. Where do you think the event industry is heading over the next 3 or 4 years? What do you think will be the next trend? What do you think will be the next aspect that you will innovate? Let's talk about you. Where do you think you are heading? And that will automatically be the industry heading.
I think we all need to be aware that technology is taking over in a very, very big way, which is AI. But you know, if you compare the world, and if you compare China, you compare US, their AI is way beyond us. We are still stuck to the roots, right? We are still keeping the authenticity alive. You know, we're still being authentic. We're still saying not everything is robotic. But we need to up the game in terms of technology. We cannot be left far behind. We need to be there. But I think as India, we're still believing that AI is not everything. We're still believing that experience, authenticity in delivering storytelling, everything is still going to be alive. But we need to upgrade where technology is concerned. Because otherwise, the world will create far better experiences than us, and we will probably be waiting and saying, okay, maybe we can do that now. So we need to upgrade ourselves, but we cannot leave behind what is our roots. So continue to be selling out rich stories, creating rich stories, creating rich experiences, but also be aware that technology is just, I think, going, it's just faster than anything right now. So we need to incorporate technology. I think that's the only thing that I would incorporate. And you know, what we're doing right now is we're doing a lot of training for our kids in AI. Today, presentations are being made in 5 minutes. But if you're not adding what is called an experience in it, so AI will only give you the the gist of it all, right? They'll give you the template, they'll give you the basic stuff, right? But what adds to is your visualization, your experience. You need to add to that tech. It's made things faster, but is it authentic still? No. So you got to make that, otherwise everybody will have the same idea. Recently we pitched an idea to a corporate and they had the same tagline as us because we produced that particular presentation in 5 minutes before we went for a pitch. Clients have also become that way, right? Today is the brief, after 3 days is the deck. You have to present the deck. Like as if there is no input required. But the thing is, you have to realize that we lost the pitch because it was AI generated. Let me tell you, that agency and us had the same tagline. It's shocking. And let me tell you, this is not a small event, it's a multi-million-dollar contract that we lost because of that one tagline that was the same. So AI can be very, very dangerous as well. So yeah. So you have to be sure that, while you take inputs, that is not what you deliver. You can take your inputs.
My God, that's like a alarm bell, right?
Eye opener, right?
Very like a big alarm, because I often have lot of students come, ma'am, you copywriting सीखना है, AI तो कर लेता है. That's your answer.
You can put your text, whatever you've generated. Let's say you developed an MC script by AI. You put it into AI. A client will tell you this is the AI and this is actually written, and that's where you lose out, right? So I mean, today people are making. Another one. The client said we really loved it because they had all AI generated presentation and we loved it. So this is also something, and we gave the authentic one, saying we created the designs and we gave it to them, but the AI looked so beautiful that they didn't care. So there is I think there is a two-edged sword here, but the thing is, I mean, at some point they will look for what is really creative rather than what, I mean, the big projects will definitely look for it. So not what is AI generated. Because that's available to everyone.
There was this earlier generation, the fire starters of the event industry, that is your generation, which is the innovators. I really call you guys the innovators of the industry.
Make me feel so young.
You are, isn't it? That makes me feel old, but anyway. Yeah, no, but I really feel that innovation is happening in today's generation. Not that we are also very much part of the generation. Do you know what I'm talking about? What do you think will be what will we call the next generation, the generation that's joining us now?
My God.
Huh?
Oh my God, should I call them? I think if this is, are you talking about Gen Zs? Yeah. Oh, so, we're having huge trouble with the Gen Zs, by the way. Yeah, huge trouble. It has become, they have more health issues than us. They are more, so this is where I think we are having a lot of challenges. Somewhere we put in our HR policy also that only only 20% of our staff is going to be Gen Z. Really? Yeah. Because I think you guys are damn fast. So fast that you don't want to wait to learn. You don't have the patience, I think, to learn. I mean, you guys, when I see you guys operate your mobiles, sometimes I get anxiety because it's so fast that I was like, oh my God, how did they even write a message that fast, right? So you guys are super fast. And super fast in your work as well, and changing jobs as well, and leaving jobs as well. So I think that needs to change. I think you need to slow down, learn, because not everything is learned in one day. So you guys need to slow down, figure out, like I said, experience is everything. So what you learn, absorb, by the time you deliver that, it takes time. I mean, we've done it. You guys might be 2x faster than us, but 2x only, right? So that's where you need to slow down. You need to figure out what you want. And I think a lot of you have, I don't know how many, maybe I shouldn't be generic about it, but you guys are earning for the day. You want to live for the day. You want to, not like us, we probably want to save for our children. We want to do all of that, but you guys want to experience life in one day. And that slightly needs to change, I think, because it really affects the industry, I think. It really affects the industry. It affects our mental health, and let me tell you more. So it just affects, right? Because we feel, oh my God, what is happening? And let me tell you, our industry would be highest recruiters of Gen Z today, because a lot of passionate kids come to do events because it's exciting, it's glamorous, it's all of that. And yes, it's a lot of hard work. But when the hard work hits you guys, I think some of you are not able to take it, and it changes everything. So I think that we need to have something called patience class in event management.
And they can actually go the entire, like the
You learned it.
The capability.
Yes. You think you have the capability, please go take the risks. I'm not saying that, but I say take calculated risks. I think that is important. You guys are moving at the speed of Concorde, and that needs to like come down. Like, because experience doesn't happen just like that. It takes years.
Yeah, and Concord shut down.
Exactly.
So that also is good. Any closing points, Reema, before we?
I think I only live by one line, and that is create to inspire. So whatever you create, inspire other people to do much more. And secondly, in life, I would say live to inspire. So whatever you do, leave a legacy behind. Think that, is this going to impact a few souls or many souls or millions of souls? So create to inspire and live to inspire is all that I'd leave you with.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable insights. It's been truly inspiring.
Gen Zs are going to kill me right now.
It's been inspiring to hear your journey and contributions towards women empowerment. So we would like to end the session by playing a short video of Pinkerton.
Okay, yes. So yeah.
अरे और एक क्वेश्चन तो मुझे भी मिला था.
What is your name? What is your name? Sorry? Sarah, you were laughing a lot when I said about the Gen Zs. You feel the same? Yes? Oh wow, see.
Pinkathon.
You know, we started with 2,500 women, and out of that, 500 were Brahma Kumaris who participated with us in the first edition. 200,000 women today because we believed and believed and believed. There is no volume to this belief. There is no volume. Okay. Oh yeah. Can we have full screen, please?
फुल स्क्रीन करो रे भाई.
One speaker is off for some reason.
ओ ये क्या है पिंकाथन.
These are all baby-bearing mothers. They all ran. They all run 3 kilometers, baby-bearing mothers. We have visually impaired, baby-bearing, rag pickers, policewomen. Name the type of women, they're all there.
It was a really inspiring session, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your wisdoms and insights with us today. I would also like to extend the appreciation to the moderators, Ms. Mariam and Ms. Ushma ma'am. I would like to request the moderators to present the memento to Ms. Reema ma'am and Ms. Ushma ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. I have one question. What is the role of mass communication in fighting fake news and misinformation today? Why and how to avoid?
Oh, so sorry. Please repeat the question. I was trying to someone.
What is the role of mass communication in fighting fake news and misinformation today? Why and how to avoid?
The lady here is going to answer that question for you. But fighting, I mean, I'm not from that world that you're asking. I don't fight fake news or I don't fight. But I mean, media is the only way you will fight fake news, right? So it's how else? You are the only ones who is a platform who will make possible how to avoid fake news if you are again authentic about what you're sharing with the world. So how else will you reach out to 100,000 millions of audience if not for media? So I think that's the only way you can. But she is really the know-how on how to. She's the better person now. Who's going to be next on the panel? Glad I met you at breakfast. Any other questions? Yes.
Oh. On kar lijiye.
Ma'am, I have a question. In the context of Asia, there are big players like Saudi Arabia who are loaded with money and they are hosting the major events and they are desperately looking for the hosting rights of every possible event. And we can see the rise in the anti-Indian sentiment on the internet as well in the current time. So how can we tackle those situations in the future?
Anti-Indian sentiment, sorry, have I missed something here? Which one? Sorry.
On the internet.
Yeah, but which is an anti-Indian sentiment?
So, misinformation.
Yeah.
Fake news.
We can see it.
There's no anti-Indian. In fact, people want to come to India. I don't see. See, money bags are going to be everywhere. Once again, it is the power of storytelling. I mean, why has Coldplay come? I gave you this example. Why has Coldplay come and done a concert here? How is Kumbh Mela the world's largest event? I mean, has Saudi Arabia been able to do it with all the money in the world? So they can host whatever they want to. And everybody can do whatever, and it's up to their country what they want to do. But we, without spending that kind of money, are creating the world's largest events and history. So I think this is what is important. That first of all, I don't think there's an anti-India thing. Secondly, I think we are Donald Trump's best friend, by the way. And
Best friend.
tariffs is from the whole world, darling. And he's waived off the tariff on India now. So tariffs on the whole world, and let me tell you, we were 26% and we are actually getting much more tariff on the US. So I mean, and this whole tariff thing is a different story altogether, which I can really dwell into, but not in this forum. But what I'm trying to say here is that we are creating the world's largest events today, and it doesn't matter whether Saudi Arabia is actually not creating that kind of events, which is why they have to spend the monies and they definitely have the monies. So they're spending that money to create, because they now need to get to probably where we are. They are not where we are, so they will have to spend. But we are doing beautiful stuff. I mean, we just had the Legends League, which is in football. We had, Vivian Westwood at the Taj Gateway. We have had Coldplay. We've had, we are hosting the world right now. We are going to get Guns N' Roses now. We're getting Linkin Park. We're getting Benson Boone. We're getting. Sorry?
Travis Scott.
Yes, I'm going to that one. Huh?
Lil Pump.
Little Pumpkin, yeah, Little Pumpkin. Okay, Travis Scott is coming. Travis Scott is coming. Oh my God. So, so, I mean, you've got the whole world, but Travis Scott is also, I don't know if he's going to Saudi Arabia, but he's going elsewhere as well. I mean, so the whole idea is every country is going to do their thing. We're doing our thing. I don't think there's any anti-India.
ओए कैसा लगा मेरा
And to add to this, so just dwell on this fact. So even when it's Yas Island, they needed the power of Bollywood. So IFA had to go to Yas Island for 2 years in a row. Whether it is even for promoting it, they needed the power of Bollywood. So right now, you had Hrithik Roshan and all these guys go over there and do Ye Jo Hai whatever that Zindagi Na Mile Dobara. So the fact is that India is the biggest consumer and the producer of entertainment. And that will never go away, sir. You're getting it? So, nothing to be afraid of. Both consumer and producer of entertainment. What more do we need?
We're a population of 1 billion. You will develop a talent every day, which Saudi Arabia cannot. So, every day we will have a new talent which can be showcased to the whole world. Like we said, IFA is a global event today. We are invited by the whole world. I want to know how much of Saudi Arabia talent is being invited to India to perform. None. And social media influencer, she's one. Yeah.
Any more questions on the line?
अरे यार सोशल मीडिया
Taking time out of your session. I'm entertained, my love.
So, Mama, I wanted to ask, in 2016, you had your first Pinkathon, right?
2012.
2012. So, at that time, we were like people were not so socially active. So, how you did the promotional marketing activities to make thousands of people join your event?
What a wonderful question this is, because it's still, it's actually ingrained in my memory how I did the first Pinkathon. First of all, though, I went with a belly rule for sponsorship, and I personally was involved in getting every sponsor. It was only 4 years into the business, and I personally went door to door, like to all my corporates, saying, "Give me sponsorship for this event." And let me tell you, I got none. I got none, but I believed in my idea. I believed in the idea that this has to happen, so we funded it. Thankfully, we had the funds ourselves, so we funded it. When we funded it, like I'm saying, there was no participation. Nobody was thinking that, I can come out in shorts and run on a Sunday morning. First of all, the wearing shorts also was a problem in 2012. So we now had to get, suddenly I got a call from Brahma Kumaris, and I said, oh my God, why not Brahma Kumaris? And we actually, when I went to her, I said, can you participate? Can you show that you guys can run and not only preach? And walks, we had, like I said, 500 Brahma Kumaris in white saris who participated in the first Pinkathon. So that is how beautiful it was, and then we realized, let me tell you, Pinkathon started as a business for me, and by the time I, did 3 Pinkathons, it was a part of it changed me, first of all. It gave me identity because I became the pink woman of Bombay. And suddenly I had an identity, a new identity. And secondly, I just, it changed my life in terms of looking at an event. It was no more about making money. It was about seeing this event through to the finish line year on year and ensuring that there are amazing women whose lives we were impacting and changing. And this is what Pinkathon did to me. I became less of a businesswoman with Pinkathon. And how did I go door to door? I mean, one was Brahma Kumaris, which came in a huge chunk, and the remaining one we gave out left, right, center free registrations. But our promotional campaign was also very interesting. So Gitanjali came on as a sponsor at that point of time and gave us paper ads. So we had like full page paper ads, which gave us visibility. No sponsorship, no cash.
बेचारी दीदी जब से खड़ी है अलग पहनाने के लिए
Came on and said we want to do some, stereotype breaking and stuff like that. But yeah, and this is how we went door to door, banging every door we know. When I mean, I didn't go personally door to door, but every door that we knew, it had to be open. And it took, let me tell you, I stopped my normal business, which was nice. We stopped it for 6 months only to survive Pinkathon and create Pinkathon. And that's what you need to give it. You need, for any project that is your own IP, you have to dedicate your heart and soul. And let me tell you, the promoters need to do it. It's not your team at that point of time, because it needs to come from the top. Because it's not making you any money, let me tell you. So when it's not making you money, not the team is interested. So it has to come from the passion that a promoter has, so that it sees culmination, it sees the light.
Thank you, Moms, so much.
I think there was one more question. We'll take one last question and then move on. Hi. Your mic is not working.
माइक खराब हो गया, दूसरा माइक तो होती देखो.
Hello ma'am. Ma'am, as you mentioned that Pinkathon is for women to take charge of their physical and mental well-being. But I just wanted to ask you that why do you choose fitness as a main motive of Pinkathon?
So basically, Pinkathon, like I said, started with the whole idea of breast cancer. And breast cancer is a curable cancer, right? So it's not something that will lead to death if it's detected early. So if you're fit, you can even avoid breast cancer. So this is where it all started. It started with the taboo of talking about breasts and bras and stuff like that, and also about people, someone, in fact, a very close friend of mine who had breast cancer wouldn't even tell people that they had breast cancer. That's the, if you have cancer, blood cancer, people are okay to say. But if you say I have breast cancer, people are not ready to talk about it. And that is the sad part. And then, but if you, and you can avoid breast cancer if you're fit. And this is where the whole fitness, and that's why it was called Pinkathon. And it was breast cancer related, and which is why we started. That's why it was women's health. And let me tell you, the one, out of all the cancers for a woman, the breast cancer affects the mental health the most, because you're going to probably lose a breast, right? So your beauty, your everything probably goes away, and that really affects a woman. So everything was correlated, which is why the whole idea of breast cancer, fitness, everything came together. In fact, one of the Miss Indias was who had breast cancer, which is Devika Bhojwani. She's most happy that I would be okay to reveal her name. It all started because of Devika Bhojwani. She was a Miss India who never spoke about the breast cancer that she had. She does immense work with Tatas today, and the reason for us starting Pinkathon is the story of Devika Bhojwani.
I would like to request moderators to please present the memento to Ms. Reema Sanghavi and also to Ms. Sushma Gaikwad.
नहीं, क्लैप तो बजा के रहेंगे.